Hey, what's going on everybody? Just to give a quick introduction before the video starts, my name is Adrian Garcia. I am a contractor down here in South Texas. As you can see, it is sunny all the time. AC season is year-round for us. Now, I've been in the business, running a business for about 16 years now, and I've been a licensed contractor almost as long. So we have a family business. My dad takes care of the kitchen equipment, cooking equipment, and I do the other half, which is all the HVAC and refrigeration work. So, you know, there's a lot in this trade that you might not know about, things that you might not be aware about, things contractors might not tell you and might not want you to know. So if you're interested, stay tuned for the video. All right, so what's the first number one secret as to why businesses like ours in the industry, in any trade, charge so much, right? You as a customer might be like, why does it cost so much just for you to come out and check something and replace something so simple? You make it look so easy. Well, let me tell you why that is. It's this beautiful mobile warehouse on wheels. All right, so all jokes aside, yeah, I could go on and on about what it really costs to actually like run a business, stay in business, you know, stay open, actually be serviceable where we actually can go out and send guys out to you, right? Homeowners, customers, because we do commercial. You guys expect somebody to be there at least the same day. And that's something that we've really focused on, especially around here, because here, a lot of them, you know, they had to wait a couple days, a week to get another company to actually have somebody go out there and service, you know, whatever equipment has gone down. And you know, that's just not, it's not feasible. They're not, they can't wait for equipment, especially on the commercial side. We deal with a lot of restaurants, hospitals, you know, that stuff can't be down. They can't be without cooking equipment, AC equipment, refrigeration equipment. It is a necessity at least to get out there the same day. So, and that's why our company is called Reliable, you know, Services, is because they can rely on us. That's our little tag there. And a lot of them do, like, are impressed and they're like, wow, you guys were out here right away and this and that, and you guys really are reliable. So that reliability and that reputation of us being out there same day, fixing it hopefully the same day, and you know, all that comes with it, that's important to us and to the customer. Now, how can we achieve that? You know, for one, all of this equipment, we have thousands on thousands, like a whole bunch of money wrapped up in tools, specialty equipment that, you know, every trade needs their own specialty equipment. Parts, we keep the most common parts. I rarely have to tell the customer we'll be back, only if there is like some proprietary OEM, stupid expensive part, because everything now is electronic. Unless it's that, you know, that specific where the manufacturer, it's something new, something, you know, or warranty work, that's when I can't repair it the same day. But more times than not, I got a whole bunch of the most common parts, and I have universal parts where I can get you by. And all of that equates to getting what you pay for, right? So if you guys are calling these, and I have nothing against handymen, right? If you guys are calling these handymen, these jacks of all trades, and they work out of a pickup truck, small vehicle, more than likely they're not going to have a lot of equipment with them. Nonetheless, the parts that you need. So you're going to be waiting a little bit longer. Same thing goes for if you're like, I can just order it online. I can get it through Amazon. Perfectly fine. I know Amazon is popping up in more places to where you can get it next day. But even then, maybe if you live in a high traffic city like New York, LA, something like that, you can get it same day maybe. But more than likely, especially where I'm at, low markets, out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to be waiting a week for that part, maybe 3 days at the soonest. Are you really going to be without AC or whatever equipment it is for that many days? I'm in Texas. There's a lot of dangers just in the weather environments. There's heat advisories all the time. There was an average of like 110 to 115 degrees all summer, and it just stopped. As you can tell, like, we're starting to get a little bit of cold weather here, and it's already November. So we're barely getting this. We literally went from 100 degrees to 50 within like a day or two. So we had 100 degrees up until this cold front came in, and people cannot be without their AC, right? You got kids, you got families, you got people that work from home. You have there was one year that we had a freeze that we've never seen before here in Texas. A lot of people were without heat. A lot of accidents happened. People were trying to run. A whole bunch of bad things can happen if your AC is out. Now, if you have the means to go to a hotel and wait it out, you know, that's great for you. Not everybody has that. So what you get is what you pay for. I know you hear that a lot, but and I could, like I said, I could ramble and rant about what it takes to run a business. So we usually, like us, we bill time and material. We don't have set prices. So some places, you know, they run so many texts, they run so many calls that they have set prices, and I forget what it's called, but they have these set prices. Like if they go somewhere and it's a motor, it's a maintenance cleaning, it is a capacitor, those prices are already set, and they most likely, now if you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars and they're putting in a $7 part, you have all the right to be upset. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is they have a set amount, and it might be like 200, 300, 500 bucks, and it's going to be them checking the system, replacing the capacitor, whatever part it was, cheap or not. And they have these set prices because you know, they need to meet a certain profit or quota, whatever it is, to send the tech out there. So there's gas, there's the vehicle itself. Most companies buy new vehicles. We in particular buy used, just really good used ones. But even then, you got to take into consideration that they still have to buy a good vehicle. You don't want somebody who's like, oh, my car broke down again, my car broke down. We actually had somebody who was doing work on the house, and somebody who we bought something for that was a delivery service, and all the time, my car broke down, my car broke down. So we need to buy good vehicles. There's gas to get there, drive around, be available, right? We're not going to just always be sitting at home. We're going to be out on the road. So there's gas. The insurance on the vehicle, right? Insurance is just going up and up and up. Employee tax, payroll, all that. You got to take that into consideration when you call out a company. They're going to have all these different expenses just to get a tech out there. And then you're also paying for a qualified, certified, well-trained tech, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, they learn all that with experience, with training, proper training. And, you know, if you want to try it yourself, you can. But, you know, I don't like that we're punished for doing things quicker. If anything, that should be more valuable to you, the customer, right? If I go out there and fix something in 20 minutes, and then you punish me by saying, why are you charging me? You weren't even here that long. You know, for one, we're probably not going to want to do business with you again. There's always that option. But like, why am I being punished? If it takes another tech an hour to do the same work, it's okay because they took longer. Like, that makes no sense to me, but you know, it is what it is. Us in the field with experience only get quicker. So I hope that you guys realize that that's more valuable than somebody who goes out there and takes an hour or 2 hours to do the same work, right? Quality is the same. Quality could be better with the more experienced tech that does it quicker, but I hate that we get punished for doing things quicker. Not necessarily that we're rushing, but we already know what to look for. We know what to check, and we have the parts in stock. I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like I said, you could wait for shipping if you buy off some online store, but again, we have the parts, or the most common ones, on our van. So being able to fix things same day is should be gold, or valued as gold to customers, right? I wouldn't want somebody to come, take all this time to check it, and then be like, I'll be back when I get the part, right? We have everything. So we have tools, power tools, specialty equipment, all the little things that we need, cleaners, expensive parts, cheap parts, the whole 9 yards. We have everything, or we strive to have everything. And that just makes it go a lot smoother for the customer, in my opinion. Also want to mention that we're not trying to scam you. At least, I don't know, 75 to 80% of us are not trying to scam you. We are a legit business. So if there is a tech that is telling you, for one, you need a new unit, that you need something expensive, right? Or you need a whole bunch of parts. So please, in my humble opinion, please try and get them to show you exactly what they're talking about, right? I would say, have pictures that they can show you, but even that, I know others have said that they could just take a picture off the internet. So have them show you in person. I'm always willing to go and be like, hey, can you come with me? I'll show you exactly where this issue is, what it looks like, why I'm recommending it. Or, it's up to you if you want to be proactive about it. Do you want me to just leave it as is? Do you want me to replace it? Do you want to keep an eye on it? Things like that. The more options you have as a customer, the better you should feel about that company. Like if they're telling you, oh yeah, it's repairable for this price. Oh yeah, we can get you a new one for this price. We can, do a follow-up, things like that. Good companies will offer those kinds of options. But for the most part, we're not trying to scam you. If anything, one of the things that we hate is, or at least the ones that stay busy, is nuisance calls. So I could care less if your batteries are dead, if your breaker was accidentally turned off, if something was unplugged, this and that. So please go through and make sure, check your breakers, check your batteries, make sure you can identify if the unit is on or off, if somebody turned it off, if somebody did something to it. If you have a dirty filter, check your filter before you make that call for that contractor. Depending on where your unit is, you can check that drain. Is that drain backed up? Drain being backed up is another major call. So, check your filters, check your drain. That's where I would kind of stop you guys. Check the batteries in your thermostat. But after that, I would highly recommend a professional. Now, not everybody can do what we do. We are, for the most part, I am licensed. I am certified in different areas of what we're expected of, right? There's EPA laws, there's state laws, there's codes, there's, not any, it's supposed to keep all the hacks out of the trade, but it still happens where you get these people that, hey, it's a friend of a friend, it's a cousin of a friend, it's, a relative here and there, and they'll do it. And then, it's not up to code, it's not up to par, the quality is horrible. So for the most part, a good company is licensed, certified in all areas and all that they need to be. And they should have the knowledge. Now, just keep in mind, for a company to send out technicians, only one person, who is usually the owner or the one running the business, has to be licensed. So if like me, if I have my company and I have like 5 to 10 techs, they don't have to be licensed. They don't have to be certified. They could be registered in Texas. They can be registered. Certification is a optional step up from that, but they just have to be registered with the state to be able to work under my license and go out and perform HVAC work. In my particular situation, they can do that under my license. I'm responsible for them. If they screw up, it's my license. But just understand that. I mean, that could clear up a little bit. If you're calling a company that is licensed, each technician will not be. So just keep that in mind. Now, your best bet, go look at some reviews, right? They have Google reviews, there's Facebook reviews. I'm sure even on Facebook, if a company is doing bad work, there are going to be groups about them. There's going to be tons of things about them. So just give them a quick Google search, and you'll find out if they're a reputable company. It's also good to ask around, like if you have any friends or family that have used companies and they've had good experiences with them, look for that. But yeah, we're not, or at least, the good ones that stay busy, we're not trying to scam you. Like I said, have them show you what's wrong with it. Have them explain why. I don't care if people call second opinions on me, because I show them everything. I know what I checked. I know what I'm doing. And even if they're being sarcastic or rude to me, that they don't believe me or they want to get another opinion, I always encourage them. I'm like, go for it. I 100% encourage you to get a second opinion, because they're just going to tell you the same exact thing. And we're very competitive on prices, so I'm like, you can call around, see what they can do for you. In the end, we give really good prices, especially to our, longtime customers. So that's just my 2 cents on that. In this industry, we don't have to scam. There's always work around the corner. So just because one bad apple does, something shady, a lot of these companies that work on commissions are going to push sales. So if they're trying to do that, that's where, bad practices come from. It's these companies that push that kind of stuff. But for the most part, a lot of us are just trying to get by and keep up with the work that we do have. We're busy as it is, and we're just trying to get to the next call. So we'll show you what's wrong with it. We'll fix it. That's up to you. The customer should always have options, and so on and so forth. And the last thing I think I want to go over is you might not realize, because we're in the golden age of DIY, right? And I'm guilty of it too. I go on YouTube and I look up, different little things because I want to do stuff around the house. I want to work on my own car. But even with that in mind, I mean, look at what I do. I work with power tools, hand tools, dangerous stuff at work all the time. I'm okay with that kind of work. So, keep in mind that if you're working on your own AC system, that is dangerous stuff. I don't care what you see on YouTube, what you see online. Yes, it may look easy, but even like in other things that I've done, as far as like DIY stuff, the car stuff, the home stuff around the house, building things. I also work on like my own phones and tablets, replacing screens, fixing a lot of little things on electronics. I like to do that kind of stuff. I do that on my own free time. If you're looking up this stuff on YouTube, it's not always as easy as they make it look, right? They're professionals at what they do mostly. Most of these channels and people that post on YouTube doing tutorials, how-tos and all that, they've done it a million times. They've done it and they know what they're doing. So just understand, because you might not think that some of this stuff is dangerous. There is high voltage, there is low voltage, even on the low voltage side, right? Your thermostat, a lot of newer systems have boards that the thermostat communicates to. You could easily fry something and it's going to cost you a couple $1,000, even more. So if you guys are attempting to replace your own capacitor, replace your own fan motor, you know, there's different things like if you guys are in winter like we are right now, trying to check your own heating, your own furnace, make sure to double check, I even say triple check your line voltage, and make sure you have a good voltmeter for all that, which, you know, is what I was talking about earlier. Us as contractors that go out here and do all this stuff, we have all the correct tools. And I'm not talking about little cheap Amazon meters here and there. I have a few of those too, because I've been sent out a bunch of them to try, just because I have a YouTube channel and I do tool reviews. I get sent out this kind of stuff. Now they work. Nowadays it's easy to get some of this stuff cheap. They work, but they do not do everything that a normal meter that we use doesn't do it as well, doesn't do it as quick. You might get false readings. You know, there's different things like that. So just keep in mind, you know, something that they might not tell you on these channels, these videos, is how dangerous it can be. And I'm not just trying to say that to protect anything. I could care less. Like, if you guys want to work on your own stuff, that's fine. I've had plenty that do it and then call me back later. I've had plenty that call other companies and call me back later. And I've heard stories, and I've never had it happen to me. I've always been extra cautious, just because I went to school for this. They gave me the horror stories, and that stayed in my head, right? Line voltage, you can have a lot of shady stuff in your house that you did not know about. Capacitors hold a charge. They can hurt you. Some of this stuff can be fatal. I don't want to be gloomy about it, but I just recently heard about another one, and it's at someone that I actually know. He had a buddy that sold a capacitor to a homeowner because, you know, they were calling around. They're like, I know how to do it. You know, I looked it up. I just need you to sell me the capacitor. That guy was like, all right, it's after hours. You know, I'll sell it to you. Be on your way. Next day, he gets called that the person he sold it to passed away. Only because when he went to go change out his own capacitor, the disconnect was bypassed. Now, I mean, I don't have all the details on the story, but essentially he electrocuted himself just because he wanted to change out his own capacitor. And that's why I always say triple check, because even a tech can make that mistake. A certified, qualified tech. So if we're out there, we are already trained to do so, and we kind of know to do so. Plenty of us have been shocked enough times, or have had a lot of close calls to remember for the next time. But yeah, double check, triple check. I know that stuff can be bypassed, and I've gotten shocked enough times to know that. But like, yeah, this stuff can be fatal. It's not a joke. So just FYI, and I've heard horror stories from capacitors. If you guys don't know how to deal with them, if you don't know how to discharge them, but yeah, stay safe out there. Double check, triple check. Some units are on rooftops. You might not be used to being on roofs. Ladder safety is another thing. Like, there's a ton of stuff that we have to deal with, and that I think about, you know, now having kids, how dangerous my job can be. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was informative and helpful. I'm sorry if I rambled on a bit. I could even talk more about this if you guys really wanted or had any questions. You know, you can leave them in the comments. It's just something that's been on my mind for a while, because I've been getting comments left and right, even if I do jokes, right? I do a lot of memes on my social media, and it's like, oh, you guys are scammers, and you guys have no skill. There's no skill in your trade. Anybody can do it. I had a lot of just comments that kind of got to me, and not in a sense where I'm like upset about it. It's just like I felt like I had to say something. So this is my video on why we do things the way we do. And if anything, like I said, most companies aren't trying to scam you. Most companies aren't trying to take advantage of you, screw you over or anything like that. It's just that we're trying to make ends meet on what we need to what's the cost of like actually having, you know, proper equipment, proper parts, getting to you in a proper, you know, time frame, getting that equipment up and going the same day or whatever it is. You know, we can go out there and fix it really quick. Why should we be punished for that? There's going to be minimums on everything. It's just, you know, you have to think about that. And what I forgot to mention, which I'll just kind of close on this, is if you really want to talk about scams, I mean, the world is filled with them, right? There is insurance. I'm paying way too much on this vehicle that I paid off. It just sits here because I work out of my van 6-7 days out of the week. Just sits there. I hardly ever use it. And, you know, we have another vehicle that's brand new that we use, you know, for all our little family trips or going out to eat or whatever it may be. But I'm paying basically for liability what I was paying for full coverage when I bought the damn vehicle. So like insurance, why am I being punished? Paying more insurance because, you know, there's some nationwide or things that happen in like your state that they're like, oh, we're raising it for everybody. That to me is a scam. Like, why am I paying so much insurance? It's required, it's mandatory. You cannot drive without it. It's a law, all of that stuff, and that's a scam there. If you go to a restaurant, maybe ask them, how much does it cost for that plate you put together? It probably costs them like $1. And you're paying like $20 or something, right? And it's like ridiculous, the markup on the food industry. You know, I could go on and on. Hospitals, right? Hospitals, you go and the Tylenol, they charge you per pill like $20. Charge you to stay in a bed overnight. It's like thousands of dollars. Like everybody suffers because, and that goes back to insurance. Those are insurance prices because they price gouge insurance companies because they'll pay it. And that's how they make so much money. And then like you go in there without insurance or you want to pay for something out of pocket and you got to fight it because you got to tell them, hey, I'm not the insurance company, you know, give me like a normal price. And even then it's a lot of work to get that down. So there's way more scams in the world where HVAC is not, I don't think it's up there. Now, if you guys are worried about being scammed, what I can tell you is call around, get a few different prices, you know, get their rates. Could be their hourly rates, however they do business. You could even ask them, like, if it's the capacitor, how much does that cost? Because some of them have, like I said, set prices. So ask around, call around. Maybe don't stop at 1 or 2 companies, call like 3. Don't call them all at the same time. That's one of the pet peeves a lot of residential techs have, is like you get there and like 3 companies show up at the same time. So call one at a time or call around for prices. You should always, as the customer, have options. That's the safest bet, or that's the easiest way to think about it, is like if they're giving me options, you know, they're a good company. If they're just telling me I only need a new unit and nothing else, they're trying to sell you something, you know, that might be a little suspicious. But you know, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. And if you want any more tips or if you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comment. I just want to also say, if you go to the description in the first link, I mean, I have it broken down underneath that, but reliablehvacr.net is where you can get or see like all the tools that I use as an HVAC professional. I usually have Amazon links for them. That way you can see the tools that I use, what I find helpful out in the field. You can also find my merch on there. We have the Reliable hoodies, HVAC night hoodies. You can find all of that there. It is hoodie season now, so go grab you one. We have different designs, but like I said, you can go check out anything I use out in the field. I'll post it in the tool link, so go check that out. Like I said, reliablehvacr.net. Yeah, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys.